There's a guy in a hoodie over there. Guys, we're back on the dyno. Ian's there on the other side of this computer. We're trying to make more horsepower with the I'll get some of the footage for you guys. Alright guys, this is the only reason why we came here. Was for this man, but I've known Louis. 2002 I met him. We weren't like friends yet, and then we kept crossing paths.
I had an issue with his mullet.
I didn't have the mullet back then, but I had an FCR XM. He's like the rotary guy. And then there's Nate.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, so we ended up making 652, guys. 652, and we cleaned up a bunch of stuff, so now it just feels a lot better. Ian from Bank Calibration made it feel really good, so we're happy. Now we're gonna go back to the shop, and then we'll go drifting in 2 weeks in Arizona. Nick's gonna be I'll be the co-pilot, and Nick's gonna drive. Nick used to do rally in like the 80s. But 80s are cool, they had mullets, and then they started to fade out in the 90s, and as soon as the mullet was out, he quit rally racing. What do you think, Louis? Just the same car.
8374?
Yeah, that's all it'll make though with the stock Camry cams that are in here. The stock JDM cams, they don't make a lot of horsepower. Alright, gotta go guys. Quick update, we have TJ Hunt's car here. He was at the track maybe like a week or two ago. We're doing some diagnostics on it. He was at the track, said he had terrible breakup under boost. And so my thought was ignition, because when he was last here, he had LQ9 coils for his JZ, but they were like wearing out, and you could see like little tiny arcs going out to the side of the head and like on the valley in between the two cams on a JZ on the head, and it was like kind of arcing out, and I was telling him, hey, like under big boost it's gonna have breakup. So that was our thought. So he bought, this happens with JZ plug or coil packs too, and there's like, you just replace them with new ones or you do this fix. I could show you. So that was, he put new ones on there. Let me show you the fix thing I'm talking about. Put new ones on there, no luck whatsoever. So still had ignition breakup. So then I was thinking, oh, it's fuel system, maybe you're not getting enough fuel pressure, or it possibly E85 gummed up your projectors. Kind of rare nowadays that would happen with the good filters that, you know, the companies have came out with. That's a thought still. But then, okay, so sidetrack, let me show you this coil fix. This coil even has a plug in it. Crazy, huh? We're using it to test something. So you heat shrink from the coil over the rubber here, and then there's no way it can arc out. Like the spark has to go from the coil through the little spring that's in there into the rubber, and then down into the spark plug. Instead of having it like arc out, if there's a crack in this plastic housing, it'll arc out to either side of the head. I'm trying to do this here, let me set it down. So it'll like, let's say this heat shrink was not here. It's like 1.5 inch heat shrink. You shove the rubber on there, then you shrink it down. There's no way for the spark to jump out early here. It just has to go through the plug. So that will let you continue using much older coil packs that maybe had like a little crack in the plastic here, which does happen because there's a lot of heat when they're trapped down in there. Anyways, I still am able to make 650 horsepower on used coil pack, non-VVTi ones on that motor. Anyways, so still can happen with the LS coil packs as well, which it does. And instead of doing that fix, because the LS coil pack's even like a fatter housing, TJ just went for, it's raining inside the shop. Okay, TJ just went for new set of coil packs. They're relatively cheap in a sense, and you can get them, you know, on eBay or Amazon or AutoZone, whatever. There's a lot of LS, you can buy LS stuff everywhere in the US. So he did that, didn't fix the issue. So then I just brought the laptop with me and made some boosts. The laptop's in here, and I watched fuel pressure. I didn't do a log, I just watched fuel pressure real quick, and it went up to 73. But while we're at idle, when it has like negative vacuum, it's around 40. So I'm assuming either he has his fuel pressure set really high and that's right, or his wastegate's not opening and he has overboost. Cause like, you know, you want your fuel pressure at 43 at idle with the vacuum unplugged, then you like plug it in, whatever vacuum you have, it'll bring it down to like possibly like 36 PSI or something with the vacuum hose plugged in. It was at like 40 idling, so he might have had his a hair high because he has pretty good vacuum on this motor, like -10. So let's say he had it at 50, that's still 22 pounds of boost, and then it starts breaking up, and it's not like it wasn't at the part in the RPM range where you should have got 22 pounds of boost yet. It should have been coming on progressively. So what it's doing is it's over boosting because he has 145 gate and it's might be jamming up. We're gonna do a little test. Quick little boost setup test that I can do to test a wastegate is you take this setup and you plug it into your leak down tester with shop air. So this will go in here and this will go into, you'll tee this hose here into the one going on the bottom of the gate, no, the top of the gate. Yeah, the top of the gate, and then you just idle the car. So it's at the top of the gate, so you're gonna control when it opens and closes. Bottom of the gate. Bottom of the gate, yeah, sorry. Top of the gate doesn't matter because we're just testing spring. We're not like keeping the gate closed. Top of the gate controls the gate to like do boost pressure and like lock it at whatever you tell it in the ECU, and then the controller does that. But we're just gonna see if we have 14 pounds of spring pressure in this gate, and if it doesn't open, and the way we do 14 pounds is you set it up on the leak down and you can like creep it to 14 pounds over here. So let's test it, see if this works. If it does, then we know that the gate's working. We move on to the next thing to troubleshoot why it's breaking up. If it's still ignition, or if it was overboost and it's cutting, or then we try fuel. So we have those three things we gotta check. What we're gonna do now is go up to around 15. Usually they open a little late, so right around 15 pounds, we should start hearing like exhaust leak, because that's like the sound that the wastegate will make as it opens when you're just at idle there. Bah! So let's see what we get. Yep, it works. Because sometimes you just have to, I accidentally just plugged this in, it was locked at 100, and it was like, wow, and like, it opened the gate, but then it like spit this line off when you guys weren't here, I wasn't filming, and it might have cracked it open, or this wasn't our problem to begin with. We just gotta check these things. But it sounds like it's working perfectly. Right around 15 I can hear it. Okay. So next, we'll eliminate that, but now you guys learned a new little trick. If you have a leak down tester, you can also test your wastegate spring is working at the correct spring pressure. So I'm gonna go on to the next step to try and figure out why it has ignition breakup or just breaking up under boost. Okay guys, I have the intake manifold off. We had the thought that since it sat for so many months that it's something to do with the fuel system, like I was saying. So we're checking filters, changing the injectors out to the same ones that we know are good and already been flow tested and clean. So we're gonna go back together right now and then try it again. Possibly, if it's not that, we move on to the next thing, which would be more like ignition related, like maybe the gap is wrong on the spark plug or something like that, but it's breaking up hard, so it wouldn't be like that. I don't think it'd be something else, like it's like a major thing because it hits pretty aggressively when it does its breakup. It's like cuts you out like it's hitting a boost cut almost, or the ignition just stops working, or it's misfiring on like more than, it's like all the cylinders misfire once you're at like 12 pounds of boost or more. So real quick, we'll put this back together, go try one more thing, and then move on to the next like process of elimination. Doing one thing at a time is always the best way, because then you know what it actually was that fixed it. All right, next up guys, I'll let you know after we figure this out if we did fix it, and then we're gonna have Danny here, who's TJ's tuner, to take a log of it and see what the vitals are doing and kind of analyze it later today. So next up, didn't fix the issue, but he had this Teachworks filter in there. It was old and starting to deteriorate. I don't have another replacement Teachworks, and he has like a deadline of needing to get this back on the track, and we can't, like, we just have some parts here already brand new, so grabbed him brand new radium 6 micron, which is what you want for E85. So it's a 6 micron inline filter. We're putting I already have half of it up in there, but we're putting the mount on there as well. So Radium makes a billet universal mount, so we mounted it to where his DeechWorks one was. And then we put some XRP ORB to -8 inlet outlet on here. And I'm gonna put that in. We already put some Ignite fuel in there. The problem didn't go away. It's getting a weird AFR reading, so we tried a different wideband, didn't go away. So I'm narrowing it down. After I replace this, then I will have maybe 1-2 other things I can do that's like, so that we've gone through each section of the fuel system to know that it's okay. And then we wait for Danny, because it's kind of just breaking up under more boost, so it still feels like ignition stuff to me. But TJ was like, hey, just go through the fuel system as well while you're there, because he let it sit for a bunch of months without driving it, so we're doing that. Yep, keep trying. We're close though, because I think it's ignition breakup, so once we did this, that's just preventative maintenance, and then Danny will be like, okay, it is like the coils or maybe something around like that. All right guys, we figured it out. Good news is it was something we could do here, and we don't have to, well, I guess we could do most everything here, but it was before Danny even got here, we were able to figure it out. So after I put new plugs in and redid that filter, it got better with the filter, but it still had like a little bit of a, like at the very top end, where the most boost was, it had a little hiccup, and then we put new plugs in and like all the breakup went away. So it was probably like a combination of a couple things. We probably could have put new plugs in earlier, and then, oh, and we had new gas, but like we probably could have had new plugs in and new gas and maybe got away with it, but it, like the filter was falling apart, so it was like gonna clog worse and maybe clog these new injectors, I don't know. We fixed it, good news. Wasn't that bad, like half of a day of work, and now it's fixed. A little bit more than half a day, I guess. And then Danny's gonna come double check our work with like read through the logs that he's gonna take, make sure it is like, because it feels good, but we need to know that it's good from data. So he's gonna check all the data, and then we have a couple other little like things that we're gonna upgrade on TJ's car. We will keep you guys posted on that, because he just wants some flame, so we're gonna give him some flame.
How about the light?
So you'll see. Give us like a couple of days and we'll have that figured out too. Oh, I almost forgot to say, so if you guys are trying to get radium filters like the one we put in there, the 6 micron, which is ideal for E85, we sell those on our website, and we have a link to it right here. Ding! And get one of those for your car, inline filters. Or if you're trying to get DeechWorks injectors, we sell those too on our website. Ding! So you could check that stuff out. And then if you want some flames or two-step on your car, if that's what's about to happen, maybe, your car would have to be here, sorry. We'd have to, or you could call the tuner, Ian, and he could set it up for you. Depends what ECU you have. All right, talk to you guys soon. So we fixed TJ's car. We had switched a lot of the stuff in the fuel system, and then double checking ignition system stuff, going through little details to make sure everything was good. Running smoothly, as you can hear and see. But one of the other things we wanted to talk to you about, besides how smoothly running, is TJ had wanted some two-step. The way we do two-step is through a pressure sensor on the clutch line. So it's the clutch line going down to a slave cylinder, and we added in a 2000 PSI switch, or a pressure sensor, which is gonna be connected to the ECU, and it'll say, hey, he's touched the clutch pedal, and then Danny the tuner will create a criteria of what makes it allowed and not allowed. So if you're on the clutch pedal and you're, let's say, above a certain RPM, let's say 6500, two-step will activate. If you're in the clutch pedal below 6500, you can still do a clutch dump for, let's say, drifting a corner or whatever. So now that's all set up, or ready to be set up. It's wired in, plumbed in. Danny's gonna set it up on the dyno today. We're heading to the dyno. TJ should be here shortly, and then he will be all set and on his way to Florida to go battle with some other guys like at Adam LZ's thing. He's doing like YouTubers Unite in Florida or something. I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, sounds like fun. I just can't go to it because I got other events coming up at the same time. But they're gonna have fun doing like drifting, drag racing, grip racing probably. It'll be cool. Now look, the people are here.
Stealer, dude.
There's a guy in a hoodie over there. I think that might be Calvin, or is that Calvin?
Get out of here, Dan.
Okay. We did some pulls, made about 600 horsepower. Danny's working with the computer, and he's gonna activate two-step here shortly. And then he'll have some flames. And he's brought the coffee. So I'll get the flames for you guys. You've seen flames before, but not out of TJ's car, so this will be cool. So hope it's wild. Oh, I think he found it. That hurt. My ears hurt.
Oh my god!
Oh, look, he came out of his cave. Gunfire. Okay, we found it, guys. That's what we were looking for. He's excited.
I was sitting